Everybody, Rich with Prep U out here in the family room, outside the bunker right there. Just kind of hanging out at this table. It's just easier to shoot this type of video because I've got all kinds of paperwork all over here. Hey, what this video is going to be, we're going to kind of take a look at Illinois' concealed carry law and the application process and a couple other things involved in it, because I've had a lot of question is, well, I've had this happen to me. Can I apply? What do I do? How do I apply? What's required? What's not required? So we're going to take a look at that. We've got different postings on different places, even on Illinois State Police Firearm Bureau's website that kind of can be iffy, which leads me to how I want to open this video. I am sorry. I was incorrect. In a video that was called New Firearm Laws Coming to Illinois on January 1st, 2023, I made the comment when they were talking about this. Each applicant for a FOID may include a full set of fingerprints in electronic format to the ISP unless already done so for a CCL. And the reason that they wanted you to put forth a set of fingerprints for your FOID, if you didn't already for your CCL, is because January 1st, 2023, it says the Illinois State Police shall, by rule, provide a process for the automatic renewal of the firearm owner identification card of a person at the time of an inquiry in subsection B. Persons eligible for this process must have a set of fingerprints on file with their application under either subsection 25A of section 4 or the Firearm Concealed Carry Act. And I made the statement that if you have a concealed carry license, you automatically put your fingerprints forward. I was incorrect. All right. And the point was that I want to make here, I was incorrect because my mind got so boggled up. When my son and I submitted ours, we just submitted ours. There's the feds and the state already have my fingerprints. So I wanted to expedite it, and that's what it was, to expedite your license. Okay, to expedite your CCL, you can submit electronic fingerprints. It has to be state licensed electronic fingerprints agency. You can't use, any other kind. So that's where I've got the confusion. And then I also got the confusion because if you saw some of my past videos on Senate Bill 96 and House Bill 1966, it was going to be a requirement for concealed carry license that you were going to have to send in your fingerprints. But you do not have to send your fingerprints in unless you want to expedite your CCL, or if you want automatic renewal of your FOID card, then you do need to send in your fingerprints for that. So that's my apology. My brain is jumbled up, and it probably get a little bit more jumbled up as I go through this stuff, because I also did kind of an interesting deep dive to find out, could I have read someplace else at the state that you needed fingerprints for your CCL? Well, I'm going to show you that in a second. So I do apologize for the confusion. Bottom line is, the only time you have to send in a set of your fingerprints is if you want automatic renewal of your FOID card. Okay? That's the only reason. As of right now, you do not need them for your CCL unless you want to expedite the process. And somewhere in all this, I've got that information. So let's put this off to the side. All right. So, and like I said, January 1st, the fingerprints are required if you want to expedite the process. And the fingerprints must be transmitted through a live scan fingerprint vendor licensed by the Department of Finance and Professional Regulation. Okay, and there will be a charge, and that's where the fingerprints are according to the Fix the FOID Act, which there's a whole video on the Fix the FOID Act also that we dealt with. So as I said, in this, it said in subsection 25A of section 4 or the Firearm Concealed Carry Act. So here's a printed copy of the Concealed Carry Act, and it says under the contents of a license application, going back to the fingerprint thing, it says, unless submitted under subsection 25A of section 4 of the Firearm Owner Identification Card Act, a full set of fingerprints submitted to the Illinois State Police in electronic format, provided the Illinois State Police may accept an application submitted without a set of fingerprints, in which case the Illinois State Police shall be granted 30 days in addition to the 90 days provided under subsection E of section 10 of this act to issue or deny a license. So there you go. So right in the contents of the license application in the Concealed Carry Act says specifically you do not need to submit your fingerprints. Okay? And it gives the state another 30 days on top of the 90 days that they have to issue or deny your license. So if you don't send your fingerprints in, you're saving a few bucks, and it's 30 days in addition to the 90. Although many of you are saying, Rich, it took like almost 200 days for me to get my CCL. And that's true, and that was a really big backlog. So there was a section right there that, again, within the concealed carry law, and it's a pretty long law, that you don't need your fingerprints. So again, thank you to the subscribers that called me out and said, Rich, you're wrong. And when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Absolutely, absolutely wrong. But in our little deep dive in the concealed carry law, we have eligibility rules for Illinois concealed carry and requirements prior to applying for the concealed carry. This is on the Illinois State Police website, Firearm Bureau, and this is under frequently asked questions. And it's interesting, they go into Illinois residents and non-residents. I'm not going into non-residents if you want to conceal carry. Not right now. I'll do that in another video, all right, for all of you out there. But I have another section when we get to the concealed carry synopsis. Kind of talks about, you as an Illinois resident having a concealed carry card, in regard cards, does it cover other states, and do other states cover Illinois? So we'll get into that. You really have to check the other states to see if they accept yours. Okay, but let's get into this. Requirements prior to applying for a concealed carry card. Okay, you need 16 hours of concealed carry firearms training provided by an ISP approved instructor. You need an electronic copy of your training certificates. You will be required to upload your electronic certificate during the application process. An Illinois State Police user ID and password, that's where you need to make an account with the Illinois State Police, because they need to be able to get a hold of you, because expiration dates aren't printed on the cards anymore. Barely anything's printed on the cards anymore, and what's printed on the cards, from what I understand, is like rubbing off. Mine's already rubbing off, okay? So I need to get another one. I need to go to my account and tell them I need a new card. I wonder if they're going to charge me for that. Nah, probably. Damn it. So you need a user ID and password, a valid driver's license or state identification card, a valid FOID card, unless in the process of getting a valid or in the process of getting a valid FOID card. Sorry. A head and shoulder electronic photograph taken within the last 30 days. Be able to provide the last 10 years of residency. You ready for this one? Fingerprints. Electronic fingerprints will expedite your application. Specific to the live scan vendor that your fingerprint application is for, the concealed carry application. It doesn't say you don't have to. It says fingerprints on the requirements prior to applying for a concealed carry license. And $150 payable to the state of Illinois. Okay, with a credit card or electronic check. So, hey, state, need to fix this. Your own law says that's not true. All right. So, I'm not justifying what I said, in that other video. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I get it. Okay. Eligibility rules for Illinois concealed carry license. All right. I have a lot of questions on this. Am I eligible? Well, let's see. I am at least 21 years old. I have a valid firearm owner identification card. I have not been convicted or found guilty of a misdemeanor involving the threat of physical force or violence to any person within the past 5 years. I do not have 2 or more violations related to driving while under the influence of alcohol, other drugs, intoxicating compounds within the past 5 years. I am not subject to a pending arrest warrant, prosecution, or proceeding for an offense or action that could lead to disqualification to own or possess a firearm. I have not been in a residential or court-ordered treatment for alcoholism, alcohol detoxification, or drug treatment within the past 5 years. And you may be eligible if you satisfy the above and no objections are filed by law enforcement. So there you go. That was, the requirements prior to and the eligibility rules for Illinois concealed carry license with the state. So that's that. And this is also from ISPFB. Application process. What are the qualifications for an Illinois concealed carry license? All right, this goes a little bit deeper than that did. All right, according to 430 ILCX 66-25, the department shall issue, which is nice. Not a may issue, it's shall issue. A license to the applicant completing an application in accordance with Section 30 of the Act if the person is 21 years of age, has a current valid FOID card if an Illinois resident, is not prohibited under federal law from possessing or receiving a firearm, has not been convicted or found guilty in Illinois or any other state of a misdemeanor involving the use of threat of physical force or violence to any person within the last 5 years, 2 or more violations related to driving while under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or other drugs, intoxicating compounds, or any combination thereof within the last 5 years, is not the subject of a pending arrest warrant, prosecution, or proceeding for an offense or action that could lead to disqualification, has not been in a residential or court-ordered treatment for alcoholism, alcohol detoxification, of drug treatment within the last 5 years, has submitted a completed concealed carry license application, has successfully completed 16 hours of firearm training, including classroom and range instruction. So there you go, application process. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. All right, we've got a couple things here, and I want to thank concealedcarry.com. I got this off their website. I mean, you can find it on a whole bunch of websites. It just really cuts it right down, cuts it to the chase. So we say, what are we going to do first? We are going to do Illinois CCW permit application guide. All right, I do suggest that you don't have to write any of this thing down. You can always go to any website, but this one is concealedcarry.com, and you can print out the Illinois concealed carry weapon permit application. So Illinois residents, in order to apply, you must provide, including the following: 16 hours of concealed carry firearm training provided by an ISP approved instructor, electronic copies of your training certificate, an Illinois digital ID, a valid driver's license or state identification card, a valid FOID card, a head and shoulder electronic photograph taken within the last 30 days, be able to provide the last 10 years of residency. Fingerprints. Again, here we go. Just fingerprints. Electronic fingerprints will expedite your application. So, it almost sounds like, again, if you put electronic fingerprints in, it expedites your application. But here it says fingerprints. So, I don't know. It's I'm going with the fact in the law, it doesn't say that you have to have the specific law. It doesn't say that you have to have fingerprints, and $150 payable with a credit card or electronic check. All right. That goes into non-residents, but we're not going to worry about non-residents. All right. Illinois concealed carry law summary. Okay. Illinois gun laws. Okay. Can you open carry? No. Prohibited. It's concealed carry. That's why it's called the concealed carry law. All right. Here's a big one. Duty to notify law enforcement. No. Only when asked by an officer if you are carrying. All right. You don't have to volunteer that you're carrying a firearm. Residents serving alcohol. Permittees may carry in dining areas unless the restaurant or establishment specifically has a sign that says you may not carry inside the location. And just because the picture looks like a Beretta and you don't carry a Beretta doesn't mean that you can go in there with your Glock. All right. Firearms at colleges. Permittees may have a firearm in the vehicle, but this is subject to college-specific policies. Concealed carry on campus prohibited by law. Firearms at K-12 schools. You may have a loaded handgun in your vehicle, but you may not carry in the school unless the school allows it and you meet their training guides. Okay. Suppressor ownership. Nope, not in the state of Illinois. Vehicle possession without recognized permit. You can legally carry a concealed firearm in your home state. You can carry a loaded concealed firearm in your vehicle. But long guns must remain unloaded and cased. All right. Is there a firearm uniformity law with other states? Nope, there is not. Permit training requirements. A minimum of 16 hours of training from a state certified instructor. Permit issuing authority. Illinois State Police. Is the state a may or shall issue state? It is a shall issue state. Okay. State contact information obviously is the Illinois State Police, and their website is isp.state.il.us. Another one is ISPFB. That's also the other site to get to. Length of permit validity is 5 years. Okay. Permit application. First, you must obtain a FOID card. Then you can submit your application online. Non-residents may apply, but only from a select number of states. All right. Then, if you really want me to do this, we can go into places that are off limit. Okay. So, we'll just run through some of this. A building, property, or parking area under the control of a public or private elementary or secondary school. Any building, property, and parking area under the control of a preschool or child care facility. I'm going to stop right there because they talk about parking lot. All right. But there is a thing in the law that says that if you are carrying and you pull into a place where you can't carry, you have the right to get out of your vehicle, go around to the trunk, and place your firearm into the trunk. And when you return to your vehicle, you're able to go to your trunk, pull out your firearm, conceal it again, and then get back in your car and leave. Okay? You just can't walk around a parking area. Okay? You just can't do that. Any building, parking area, or portion of a building under the control of an officer of an executive or legislative branch of government. Any building designed for matters before the circuit court, appellate court, or Supreme Court, or any building or portion of a building under control of the Supreme Court. Any building or portion of a building under control of a unit of local government. Any building, real property, or parking area under the control of an adult, juvenile detention, or correctional institution, prison, or jail. Any building, real property, or parking area under the control of a public or private hospital or hospital affiliate, mental health facility, or nursing home. Any bus, train, form of transportation paid for in whole or part by public funds. Any building, real property, or parking area under the control of an establishment that serves alcohol on its premise, if more than 50% of its establishment gross receipts within the 3 months is from the sale of alcohol. Any public gathering place, any building or real property that has been issued a special events, retail license under the control of the liquor board, any public playground, any public park, athletic area, athletic facility. These are areas you cannot carry. Any real property under the control of Cook County Forest Preserve, any building, classroom, laboratory, medical clinic, hospital, artistic venue, athletic venue, entertainment venue, official recognized university-related organization of property, whether owned or leased, or any real property including parking areas, sidewalks, and common areas under the control of a public or private community college or university. Any gaming facility, building, real property, any stadium, arena, any collegiate or professional event, any building, real property, or parking area under the control of a public library or an airport or amusement park, any building, real property, or parking area under the control of a zoo or museum. Now here, this is, and they mean this one, you cannot go into a parking area, any street, driveway, parking area, property, building, or facility owned, leased, controlled, or used by a nuclear energy storage, weapon, or development site for facilities regulated by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. They are not kidding about that one. Do not, if you are going to go anywhere near or on property of a nuclear facility, do not carry a firearm at all on you. You can't even go into the parking lot with it in your car. And they're serious about that one. And yeah, so, and you cannot have a firearm or ammunition in his or her vehicle, in a compartment or container within the vehicle located anywhere in or on the street, driveway, parking area, property, building, or facility described in that paragraph. Period. Feds ain't messing around with nuclear power. So, is Illinois a constitutional carry state? Nope. Nope. Do you, as a resident, do you have the duty to retreat? No. You do not have the duty to retreat. You can stand your ground, and you can protect yourself and your family. All right. Hotels. There's no legal restriction in carrying into hotels, but you need to reference other articles within the law to find out. So, and there's a disclaimer here from Concealed Carry Inc. Strives to maintain legal reference information updated on the website. The reader and the gun owner are responsible to do any and all necessary research and consult with the local authorities before making any decisions. So that is the Concealed Carry basically summary on what you need to have. And if I went into it a little bit deeper, I mean, there's the application's name, current address, date and year of birth, place of birth, height, weight, hair color, eye color, maiden name, or any other name the applicant has used or identified with, and any addresses where the applicant resided for more than 30 days within the 10 years preceding the date of the application. Your valid driver's license number or state ID, a waiver of the applicant's privacy and confidentiality rights so they can look into your background, to see if there's anything weird in there. The affirmation that the applicant possesses a current valid firearm owner identification card. Affirmation that the applicant has not been convicted or found guilty of a felony, a misdemeanor involving the use of threat. We've read this like 4 times already. 2 or more violations related to driving. Then also whether the applicant has failed a drug test for a drug for which the applicant did not have a prescription within the previous year, and if so, the provider of the test, the specific substance involved, and the date of the test. Written consent for the Illinois State Police to review and use the applicant's Illinois digital driver's license or Illinois identification card and photo and signature. Um, and then submit your fingerprints through electronic format if you want your card 30 days earlier, a head and shoulder photo, color photo, the size specific by the Illinois State Police taken within 30 days preceding the date of the license application, and a photocopy of any certificates or other evidence of compliance with the training requirements under this act. There you go. That's how you get your concealed carry license, all that good stuff. So, but I guess the bottom line is, and what you're all going, hey, Rich, do you need your fingerprints? Well, depends on where you read it in the state. But what I'm going with and what other people are telling me is no. Unless you want your CCL quicker or you want automatic renewal of your FOID card, then you will need to submit fingerprints. So there you go. There's a look at the concealed carry application process and the concealed carry requirements. And my apology for getting it wrong, but you don't need it just to get your license. You just need to get it if you want to get it quicker. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Got a lot more subscribers all of a sudden. Man, everybody likes or I shouldn't say likes legal stuff, but they're more interested in legal stuff than prepping. But gosh, we got some great prepping videos. You need to go back and take a look at some of our playlists. They're really good. But anyhow, like we always say when we end our video, always be aware of your surroundings. And the way things are going in Illinois, Safety Act, this Protect Illinois Communities Act, and you're going to really have to keep your head on a swivel to keep yourself and your family safe. But also make sure that you have plenty of food and water on hand, whether you shelter in place or bug out. And please prep like your life depends on it, because it really does these days. It really does. Thanks a lot. Take care. Subscribe.